special guest on this call tonight. He's the reason we're all here. You know, it's his heart, his vision, almost 10 years ago now, that he put together this company where we all have the opportunity to change our lives and create that legacy. You know, this gentleman who started in the industry at the age of 20 and by 25 went on to become a self-made millionaire, which in itself is absolutely incredible. But then through the principles that became the Forensic Networker, he mentored 16 others to become self-made millionaires, which is just unbelievable to have that talent, that skill, to be able to mentor 16 others to do the same. Today, he's one of the top 3 trainers in the entire world in this industry. Of course, he's the #1 compensation plan expert in the entire world in this industry, being featured multiple times on businessforhome.org as a master networker, as the top compensation plan expert, Networking Times as a master networker and top expert in the industry. And of course, he is the creator of the Forensic Networker, the most advanced business training ever, and the training that gives us all the opportunity to indeed live our dreams, become millionaires, and set up everyone in our family, set up that legacy that we can leave for generations, and ultimately be able to go out there and give more. You know, when situations like Nepal unfortunately happen, now we can all give more, make that difference in the world. So it's my pleasure and honor at this time, and I want to wish him an early happy birthday on this call, and just thank him for all he's done for me personally and every one of us in the GWT family. My pleasure to bring on our CEO, Mr. Ramin Mesgarlou. Are you there, Ramin?
Hi, good evening, Sean. Can you hear me?
Yes, Ramin, we can hear you loud and clear.
Terrific. Well, good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. I'm just going to take a few minutes just to talk a little bit about the very special company and course and university that's really special to my heart, which is the FAME, Forensic Advanced Marketing Experience, which the Forensic Networker is part of. Forensic Networker basically is a book that I wrote 16 years ago with 2 manuals I wrote, and the past 16 years, it was based on experience of how I've built my network marketing business, because I was, one of the things I'm very proud of is that for the 14 years that I was on the field as a soldier, building it just like you are, 12 years of it was full-time. Full-time. The dream come true for any network marketer. Out of the 12, 10 years of it at a 6-figure income. To have that type of longevity with 4 different companies, with that type of success, you need a concrete system. So that's what the Forensic Networker. And even for the first 10 years, I kept it away. Even when I was on the field, I kept it away from my own team, from my own organization, because I was of the opinion that it was too advanced for the average person. It wasn't up till 2008 that I decided that I would open it up to the whole industry, because I see that the industry really, really needs it. There's a slaughterhouse out there. People are struggling. You know, there's 100 million network marketers, 8% of full-time. So there's 8 million full-time network marketers are completely confused on how to build an MLM business full-time. So this is why I decided to open it up. And even at that, it was pretty much reserved to our own company. And occasionally, a few people ask for permission to come in. Every year, I have companies that call us and they want to bring a group in. We just don't allow that because it's in our convention. And this year, again, we have requests from other companies who want to come in. I reject offers to speak for other companies. I just don't have the time for that. Although it's such an important message to network marketers around the world, I just don't have the time for it. I wish I had. In any event, what you're going to get out of the Forensic Networker, and people who've been in the industry for over 20 years, trained for 20 years, being perceived as being top trainers for 20 years, when they come to Forensic Networker, they finally get it. You get 2 things out of it. First thing you will do is completely change your perspective of what this business is all about. Not just this business, any business that you're already doing, not just network marketing, any business that you're in. So completely change your perspective. So like Marshall said, he's a business owner already, traditional business owner. He said, I thought I knew, but you can forget about what you think you know about building a business. That's what it will give you. The second thing it will give you is a complete scientific plan with charts. It's a scientific plan to get to 5-figure monthly income within 12 to 18 months. If you do it, if you follow the plan, you'll take it from 0 to 10K club within 12 to 18 months part-time. So a lot of people have a difficult time following the plan because, let's face it, you're going to go from 0 to a 10,000 a month, the top 1.5% income in the world. Well, you're going to have to be very disciplined. But just the first part alone, the perspective side of it, it'll change you as a person. That's why every forensic student who's ever attended my annual seminars, only once a year, they never miss another one in their lifetime. So what you're going to see, the people you're going to see at this conference, they've been to every other one before that. You just don't miss it because it just completely changes you as a person. It takes you through what I call becoming a mental warrior. And when you become a mental warrior, it doesn't just affect your network marketing business or GWT business. It affects you as a person. It affects you the way you run your own business, how you do your job, how you be a good spouse, how you be good parents, your health. It just changes you as a person. Now, network marketers and people who've been making millions, who looked at forensic, they have told me, Ramin, this is not even network marketing training. This is business training. And this is exactly what it was supposed to be. Teaching somebody how to recruit better, to prospect better, all of this without them knowing how to run a business, to me, is like teaching somebody how to win races at Le Mans and they don't even have a driver's license yet. Let's teach people how to run a business first. Network marketing, it's a business. MLM is a business. It's not a social club. It's not a couple of fancy tricks to get someone to sign on a dot. It's a business. And this is why I've seen so many people who are even excellent salespeople, who are excellent networkers, who went ahead and built a network marketing business, a big one, made millions, and ended up broke within 5 years. They just didn't know how to run a business. So forensic takes this right back. I believe, I've said this publicly, and some of my colleagues from the biggest names in the industry that you know of from other companies, they tell me to tone it down. They don't like me to say these things. And we don't need another network marketing course. We don't need another MLM course. There's tons of them out there. 99% of them are flawed, but even the 1% that are good, we don't need another MLM course. What we need is network marketing. What we need is business courses to teach people how to run a business. Because let's face it, because it's easy to get involved in this profession. Vast majority of people who get in it never had any experience in running a business, A. B, even if they did from traditional business, this is a completely different type of business. I mean, forensic, I talk in detail the difference between running a traditional business and this type of business. So you get a perspective, you got a concrete plan. You want to make sure that you and your entire team are there. The very least you get out of this, your perspective of life and business will change completely. Now, whether or not you can stick to the plan, well, we'll see that. Mark it on, my friend, God bless him, he just passed away. He said something, he goes, for me, what I like about forensic. He had this nice American accent. He says, what I like about forensic is this. You go to a seminar, it's like a warm bath. You get lots of notes, you get excited. On Monday, you're like, okay, what do I do now? Well, forensic, you go to a forensic, on Monday you have a briefcase in your hand with a box in it and with a concrete plan of what you need to do. And you see constantly in our office, we walk around with the forensic bag with all the business plan. In other words, on Monday, after the forensic weekend, you know exactly what you got to do. You're going home with the plan, the 5-figure plan that ultimately turns into 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure plan if you follow it properly. So that's the difference. Now, when it comes to trainers, there's the basic trainers. I'll tell you what to do. The better trainers will tell you how to do it. Forensic is the only one that tells you what to do, how to do it, and most importantly of them all, why you should do it. Why you should do it. Because you know what? If you don't get the why, you're not going to do it. This is why it is so effective. So if that wasn't enough, by the way, this is only once a year. This is the only chance you've got. So you show up to this, you're going to astronomically change your performance from whatever it is it's going to be. If it's going to be good anyways, it's going to be astronomically better. If you're not going to do anything anyways, it's still going to be much better, not just in this business, at least in your personal life and businesses and whatever else you do. So you got to be here. It's only once a year. Make sure you're here. Make sure your team are here. Now, if that by itself is not enough, we have some major developments coming up we call Phase 5. It's the beginning of Phase 5. Now, if you've read my President address that comes in your kit, you'll know about Phase 1 and Phase 2 and Phase 3 and Phase 4. Phase 5 is coming. This is the path to the billion. Now, with Phase 5, we're going to announce some corrections that we got to do because we're thinking next decade. We're not thinking this year. This is not an upstart company. We don't need to hype this thing up. We have a 10-year success track record. So, but now we're looking the next 10 years. So we're making some corrections to make sure that your business remains as good as it is today and even better, as safe as it is today, and even safer for the next decade, because it's the best message you want to leave to your kids and pass it on to the next generation, even beyond your time. And the second thing we're going to do in the Phase 5 is, A, make some corrections, make sure your business remains solid going forward. Second thing is, we got some incredible, mind-blowing promotions that's going to come out because we are at this stage of our game. I look at my business and the adjustments we've done and the way we move forward, we have the world's best products, most marketable products. We have an undisputed compensation plan. Last couple of days, we work on the systems to make sure it's easier to operate. The only thing we need to do right now is basically put some incentives and promotions that are time sensitive to make sure that people take action. The other companies, they don't have to do that. You know why? Because they got ranks and qualifications and requalifications that forces you, like a gun to your head, to make sure you do what you have to do or you lose your check or most of it. See, we don't have that in GWT. You create the volume and I'll pay you. That was my policy from day one. Well, the downside to that is people get paid anyway, so they don't do more than they should. And that affects you on your check because your people happy where they're at. Well, we're going to put some mind-blowing, time-sensitive promotions that nobody in your team, including yourself, would want to miss. And what that means to you is it's going to double and triple and quadruple your CV, and CV, commissionable volume, is money. So that's going to be released in Phase 5. That's what we call Phase 5. So what you will get, you're going to get the Forensic Networker, which is once a year annual. That's it. There's no more after that. And then you're going to get Phase 5, and you can't have this message delivered to you in Phase 5. You can't. Forensic, definitely you can. You can even read the Forensic book. You'd be more confused than anything else. It's very, very intense. You've got to be there, and I have to train you on it. So we talked about, everyone's talking about how it changes them. The price of it. I'm not in a book-selling business. I don't have time. GWT is where my focus is at. I have the second largest publisher in the world for 3 years asking me to make the Forensic because it is so detailed, because it is so vast, and every year, every version that comes out, this one would be version 7. So for 6 versions before this, it always tells out this is version 7. I always add at least 2 new chapters in every new version. It is so vast that the second largest publisher in the world is telling me to make this into a forensic series of books, like the Dummy series, because they see money. They see this is something that would have such a big following. We could keep coming out with new series. I'm not in a book-selling business. I'm not interested. That's why you're getting this for almost nothing. I'm interested in giving you the information so you can go hit a financial home run, build your VDM into a global empire. That's what I'm into. I'm not into a book-selling business, and that's bad news for the publishers out there who want the book. So you have the opportunity to be here. Make sure you're here. Make sure your people are here. Remember, whoever shows up to your team, you've astronomically increased your chances that they're going to stay with you forever, and they're going to, we know for a fact, astronomically, their participation, them staying on IA, retention, activity, the CV that they're going to generate, and their checks, all of that astronomically will increase. When that happens to your team, what happens to your business? So do you think you've been slacking on this? When we launch this, it's once a year, you should be the first one on the tickets. And when you are the first one on the ticket, automatically you're talking to everybody in your team because you've done it, and because you've done it, you automatically talk about to other people, and they're going to do it. The seats are limited, folks. It sells out every year. I mean, how many times do you have to see this, right? So it's going to come to a point where it's going to be sold out because there's no more room, and your people are going to be upset at you because you didn't tell them or they didn't know about it. Get the link of this webinar tonight. Pass it on to everybody in your team, because you can't deliver the message the way this one does. Obviously, you do your part, but send the link to everybody. Make sure the more people you have here in July for Phase 5, the more your check is going to be affected almost immediately right from July. So if you're going to shop by yourself, well, great, good for you. No one else in your team is going to benefit from it. If you don't shop at all, well, I guess you can wait another year. You waited 30 years already, so I guess you could wait another more year. Why do that? You might not even make it to next year. So that's how passionate we are. You've heard it from everybody. You heard it from me. I don't have the time for this, but it's important, so I'm going to take the time once a year and put the information out, how I personally built it. Like Marshall said, this is not MLM 101 you get from the big names of the industry. This is not MLM 101 what you get in LA or Los Angeles or some of these guys writing books for 20 years. This is the scientific plan that was written by me based on, not based on theory, but based on activity and results that I had to do, and many of my people have done using the system. You have that opportunity. So hope that you're on the ticket already and registering, and you're on the phone with everybody, making sure that they are not going to cheap out for $179 for their plane ticket. They are not going to put their business on hold for another year. I mean, they could do that, but I guess it's your job as a leader to do all you can to make sure that doesn't happen. So I'll pass the phone back to Sean. I think we've set up that if they don't catch this, you have to question how serious you are. You have to question how serious you are about your profession. It's not even about the GWT business. About your profession. How serious are you? When you launch your network marketing business profession, when you get into this profession, you got into it because something about the job scene wasn't working. Something wasn't right. Whether it was money, stress, time freedom, something wasn't working, so you decided to start a business. Now, we're giving you a pathway to a six-figure plan in 12 to 18 months. If this is not important enough for you to put everything else on hold, then I guess your question you have to ask yourself, how serious are you really about your business, your future, and so forth? So with that, I look forward to seeing all of you. July, we're going to blow up. I mean, Canada's going to be shaken by what we're going to talk about in that July weekend. Hope that you're there. Back to you, Sean.
Wow. Thank you so much, Ramin. After listening to you, I went to July 10th now. And yes, this call is recorded, GWT family. So immediately as this is done, I'm going to get it loaded up. And you want to share this with everyone in your team, because no one can deliver the message of why you need to be there like our CEO, Forensic Networker, Mr. Ramin Mesgarlou just did. And I think everyone who hears him, they're going to buy their tickets immediately If you don't have your ticket, get yours and make sure everyone in their team has theirs. I cannot wait till July 10th. So
Sean, I want to also say this. If you're coming from overseas, we have a complete list of documents you need for your visa. You've got to get on this right away. It'll take sometimes up to a month, month and a half, 2 months even. But the Canadian government, they know who we are. They're doing all they can to help for people to actually get into Canada. It's very difficult to get into Canada, especially from certain countries. But the Minister of Immigration happened to be into our office many times. He knows who we are, and he's mandated his staff to put out a list of what you exactly need for the embassy. Now, my mother was a diplomat, so I know this firsthand, that embassies operate independently from their government. So the government here cannot tell the embassy to let people in. That's not how it works. So you actually have to go to the embassy, provide the documents to be able to, and have that officer at the embassy to go ahead and approve you. But because they're so busy, they're not there to interview you or look at your background. They go through a checklist. And you could be the best candidate. If you're missing something on the checklist, they just simply put X on it, then you have to go and reapply again. Don't do that. The email, if you don't know, if it's in the back office, what you need, if you want, just go ahead and email Jonathan, okay, info@globalworldtrade.com or gwcorp.com, or from back office, send in the ticket, ask them for that immigration list that you need for visas, and Jonathan will send it to you. And I believe it's already in your back office if you look for it. So get that list. Make sure you have everything on this on the list satisfied, and it's an automatic. Automatically you'll get your visa. Unless, of course, there's other matters that that we don't know about. But that list has granted visa for many people who could not get it before that list. So make sure you get your visa ASAP. You don't have that much time.
Wonderful. Thank you so much again, Ramin, for all of that information and everything you shared tonight and all you do. And the last thing we wanted to leave you with tonight, GWT family, and thanks to our Senior VP, Sanaz Human, putting this initiative together. And again, to our CEO for standing behind this. And it's what, again, Ramin, you've always ultimately said GWT is about helping to give more. Of course, the Nepal Earthquake Relief Fund, you want to go to your back office and participate in this. The death toll now over 5,000, devastating event. And, thanks to our CEO, GWT is matching dollar for dollar every dollar that we as the LCs donate. And then on top of that, the Canadian government will match all donations from Canadians. So that quadruples the effort. So we can make a huge difference. And, the CEO said here, this is yet another example that our quest to the billion will have a positive global effect far beyond the GWT family. And so for me, I'm so proud to be a part of this company that, when things like this happen, this is the response coming right from our CEO, our Senior VP, to put that difference in the world. So go and donate now. I already donated. Log in to the back office. Donate now. I know many of the top leaders donated. Let's show how much GWT cares and wants to give and make a difference when things like this happen in the world. So,
Sean, if I can just add to that as well.
Hi, Sanaz. Welcome to the call. Go ahead.
Thank you. I actually just wanted to reiterate on just basically what you talked about. As you all saw, on May the 1st, we started the campaign for Nepal, and as everyone that's on this call, we are a global family. We are a global business, and there is a lot of people that are in desperate need of just something as simple as drinking water that we have every single day. So it's about helping rebuild. It's about helping a lot of orphaned kids, and I want to make sure that we definitely shine bright like a diamond when it comes to global wealth trade. Your every even $25 that you're putting in, basically, by the time that our CEO has been so generous to match it, and of course the Canadian government's going to match it, that every $25 will become basically $100. So, I know there's been people donating. We want to make some big numbers out of this. We're giving you till the 23rd. Of course, you can just log into your back office. As well, if you like, you can just send us a ticket, and we can take it also from your e-wallet for countries like Nigeria. So I just wanted to reiterate that, Sean. A lot of you have seen the video I've done on my Facebook. Share it, post it, and get everyone that you know. I even have friends that have been giving me cash after seeing the video. I've had people in my family give me cash, and I'm basically, donating all of that through my credit card through the company. So let's get out there. Let's talk about it. Let's make a difference, and let's help Nepal so that they can rebuild and, of course, most importantly, start to be able to live again and reconnect. Thank you, Sean. Back to you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sanaz. And again, I know how busy you are, but yet this was so important. You put it together, and again, Ramin stood behind it. And so you have to do family, it's our turn. We just got to log in and donate. Make sure everyone in your team donates. It's a very, very important cause. So again, thank you to our CEO, Mr. Ramin Mesgarlou, and all of course, our top leaders who came on and shared the importance of being at Forensic. Don't miss it. Book your ticket tonight. Of course, thank you to our Senior VP, Sanaz Human, coming on and sharing about Nepal. Have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Of course, our Tuesday night training, that's it, don't miss. Fast start training, which we have in French, Spanish, English. Make sure you log in.